I was tired. Not just the kind of tired that goes away after a good night's sleep, but a deep exhaustion that felt like it lived inside me. Anxious, unfocused, with a mind that was always racing. The nights were long, I'd lie down exhausted, yet sleep wouldn't come easily. Mornings started heavy, as if my body had never truly rested. I moved through life on autopilot, between commitments and responsibilities, trying to keep everything in order. But inside, something wasn't right. I realized I was living without pauses, without breathing space, and my mind was paying the price. That was the moment I decided to change. Not with grand promises or radical plans, but with a simple experiment, creating a minimal self-care routine for just 30 days. I wanted to see if small gestures, repeated consistently, could support my balance. And that's exactly what happened. To my surprise, this simple routine not only brought more lightness, but it also helped me regain my sanity during turbulent days. I discovered that the secret wasn't in reinventing my entire life, was in cultivating predictability and care in the small details of everyday life. Today, I want to share this path with you. The structure of the routine I followed, the science behind each pillar, and the changes I felt after a month. Because simple routines act like anchors, they provide stability, reduce stress, and strengthen our mental health. And there's solid evidence showing that consistent habits build resilience and sustain well-being. So, if you can, take a pause right now. Breathe deeply with me. Inhale slowly, feel the air coming in, and exhale gently, letting your shoulders relax. This is the pace we'll walk together from here. What a simple wellness routine is. When I talk about a simple wellness routine, I don't mean packed schedules or long to-do lists. Simplicity is the key. It's about small gestures, repeated regularly, that take care of 4 fundamental areas: sleep, body, mind, and the connections that support us. The foundation of this routine is regularity. It's not about doing a lot in one day, but about doing a little, every day. A predictable bedtime, a few minutes of movement, a balanced meal, a conscious pause. These daily anchors create internal stability, even when the world around us feels chaotic. Science shows that habits take time to form on average, about 66 days, though that number varies. What matters isn't speed, but consistency. A powerful technique here is using implementation intentions. Short phrases that link a behavior to a specific trigger. For example, if it's 10 p.m., then I turn off all screens and read for 10 minutes. Strategies like this significantly increase the likelihood of repeating an action until it becomes second nature. Studies show that regular routines, whether for sleep, meals, or movement, are linked to better emotional and cognitive functioning. They also provide a kind of buffer during stressful periods, acting as a safe harbor when life feels unstable. That's why a simple routine isn't an extra burden in your day. On the contrary, it's like a track that gently guides you, allowing your mind to spend less energy on decisions and to find more space to rest. The 6 pillars of the routine: pillar 1, consistent sleep and circadian anchors. The first step was organizing my sleep. I chose a fixed time to go to bed and to wake up, even on weekends. In the morning, I'd open the window and let natural light in, helping my body recognize the start of the day. At night, I created a small ritual: screens off at least 1 hour before bedtime, a dark and cool room, and 10 minutes reserved for light reading. Why does this work? The American Academy of Sleep Medicine specifically recommends regularity as a foundation. The body needs predictability to maintain energy and recovery. Morning light exposure helps regulate the biological clock, improving sleep quality. And cutting back on screens at night reduces the artificial stimulation that disrupts melatonin, our sleep hormone, for persistent insomnia. Research shows that cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia (CBTI) is the first-line treatment, not just sleep hygiene tips. This highlights how caring for our rest is a broad field with strong scientific backing. Pillar 2, daily movement. I didn't start with intense workouts. Just 20 to 30 minutes of walking or light biking almost every day. That simplicity alone was enough to transform my mood and energy. Science shows that physical activity, even below formal guidelines, is already linked to a lower risk of depression and anxiety. Recent reviews confirm that exercise in different forms contributes to improved well-being at all ages. A moving body doesn't just strengthen muscles, and the heart rate also regulates emotions, supports sleep, and clears the mind. With every step, I felt the ground beneath me grow steadier. Pillar 3, practical, steady nutrition here. I aimed for a simple version of the Mediterranean diet. Vegetables, legumes, whole grains, olive oil, eggs, and fish whenever possible. The secret was setting to anchor meals per day that remained stable. The well-known SMILES study in the field of nutritional psychiatry showed that improving diet quality can reduce symptoms of moderate to severe depression. There are still methodological debates, but the signal is promising. Later trials also suggest that balanced eating patterns tend to ease depressive symptoms. It wasn't about perfection or rigid restriction, it was about creating food stability. Eating predictably reduces energy swings and supports mental health. Pillar for digital boundaries. I realized I needed space away from screens. I started creating focus windows without my phone in the mornings and at night. I silenced notifications and turned my bedroom into a device-free zone. A stable routine and reduced stimulation, especially in the evening, support emotional regulation and improve sleep. There's solid evidence showing that avoiding screens an hour before bedtime has positive effects on sleep quality, particularly among young people. This small gesture brought mental clarity. I discovered that when I quiet the outside noise, I can hear my own inner voice more clearly. Pillar 5, nature and daylight each week. I committed to spending at least 90 minutes in nature, whether walking in the park or simply sitting on a bench among trees. In addition, I made it a priority to get morning light, even if it was just from my balcony. A landmark study showed that walking in nature reduces rumination and activity in brain regions linked to negative thought patterns. Daylight exposure, on the other hand, improves circadian alignment and supports both mood and sleep. The effect was immediate. Being among trees naturally slowed my breathing, relaxed my shoulders, and quieted my mind for a few moments. Pillar 6, writing, gratitude, and breathwork. Here, I alternated between two quick tools. Some days, I'd write for 5 to 10 minutes, listing 3 things I was grateful for and why they mattered. On other days, I practiced mindful breathing, especially the so-called cyclic sigh, which involves extended exhalations. Gratitude has strong scientific backing. A recent meta-analysis of 6 clinical trials found that gratitude practices reduce anxiety and depression and increase well-being. Expressive writing, meanwhile, has decades of evidence, even if results vary. Structured breathing has also been tested in recent studies, showing positive effects on emotional regulation and mood. These are short practices, but profoundly restorative. How I put it all together to make this routine fit into my day. I designed a simple framework. Morning, I woke up at the same time every day, opened the window for natural light, and did 20 minutes of light movement. Then, I had a steady, nourishing breakfast. Afternoon, I created small 5-minute breaks, walking a little, breathing, or simply stretching. I drank water and chose a fiber-rich snack. Evening, 1 hour before bed, I turned off all screens. I prepared my bedroom environment, picked up a light book, and before turning out the light, I wrote a few lines of gratitude. To make things easier, I used implementation intentions, such as, if it's 10 p.m., then I turn off the screens. I also created environmental triggers, a book on the nightstand, sneakers by the door. I didn't demand perfection. I knew habits take time to become automatic, sometimes weeks, sometimes months. And when I slipped, I chose kindness over criticism. What changed in 30 days? After a month, I noticed clear changes. My sleep became more predictable. I fell asleep faster and woke up with more energy. My mood was more stable, and my anxiety less intense. Movement and breathing breaks helped me balance my mind throughout the day. I also noticed better focus and less rumination. Reducing screen time and spending moments in nature opened space for mental clarity. Even the environment in my home changed. By keeping surfaces clearer and sticking to a minimal organization routine, I felt my mind rested more easily. Interestingly, studies suggest that more functional environments may even be linked to healthier cortisol levels, the stress hormone prurian. This wasn't a radical transformation. It was a series of small adjustments that, together, brought me into a new internal state. Traps and adjustments. It's important to also share the cautions. One of them is perfectionism. There's even a term, orthosomnia, which describes when worrying too much about getting good sleep ends up harming sleep itself. The same can happen with wellness. Trying to optimize everything only creates more stress. Another trap is habit overload. Trying to start all 6 pillars at once can be too much. It's better to pick 2 or 3, solidify them, and only then expand. And finally, don't forget the social side. Routine doesn't mean isolation. On the contrary, maintaining meaningful connections is essential for both mental and physical health. Social support is recognized as such a powerful protective factor that the U.S. Surgeon General has classified loneliness as a serious health risk. Quick guide, here's a simple checklist to summarize. Sleep, same schedule. Morning light, screens off 1 hour before bed. Movement, 20 to 30 minutes daily. Any kind of nutrition, simple Mediterranean-based vegetables, legumes, whole grains, olive oil. Digital limits, silence notifications, keep your bedroom screen-free. Nature and light, 90 minutes weekly in green spaces, morning light whenever possible. Mind, 5 to 10 minutes of gratitude or writing, or 5 minutes of breathing. Social, 1 gesture of connection per day, message, call, or meetup. My invitation, I invite you to choose just one of these pillars and start today. Not all at once, just one. Then, share your experience, observe your signals. And remember, setbacks are normal, but gentle consistency always beats occasional intensity. And finally, look inward right now. Take a deep breath, inhale, feel the air filling your lungs. And exhale slowly. Allow your body to absorb the idea that taking care of yourself can be simple. My minimal routine was like a thread of hope in heavy days. It didn't erase challenges, but it gave me ground to stand on. It created a safe space where I could rest, focus, and recover calm. And I want you to know, everything I've shared here is supported by solid scientific evidence. Research in sleep medicine, nutritional psychiatry, exercise science, and psychology consistently shows that simple routines support our mental health and build resilience. So, give yourself this gesture of care. Choose your first step and take it. Your body, your mind, and your heart will thank you.